How you guys doing? I am Sean in Alaska. It is awesome to see you guys today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Let me know how the audio and video is down there in the chat while I get this banner started, and then we'll discuss whatever you want to discuss. If you want to talk about the last couple of weeks, it's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. Sunrise was at 9:49 a.m. and sunsets at 4:40 p.m. for a total of 6 hours and 51 minutes of daylight. We have gained almost an hour of daylight in the last 2 weeks. The low temperature in Funny River, Alaska today was 17 above, and our high is supposed to be 34 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll let that stay there. I'll jump back in. So here's what I like to do. I like to jump in and say hello to everybody. And if you've got a comment or a question and you think I've missed it, leave it again in all caps. And if I've already answered it by the time I get to it, I will go ahead and just skip over it. But yeah, definitely want to answer every question I could possibly get from you guys. Hey, Rob from Curmudgeon. What's happening, buddy? Rob will be live on Ask an Alaskan after this. So, Rob, if you want to share the link for your live after this, it's a cool YouTube channel/show. It's super neat. But definitely share that, Rob, because that's what I'm doing after I get done with my live, is hanging out with you. I'll be in and out getting ready for the 4 p.m. Ask an Alaskan podcast. Let's jump back up to the top here. I like to say hello to everybody. Howie was the first one in. Howie, how you doing, brother? It is awesome to see you today. Charles and Annalyn, all the way from the Philippines. Awesome to have you guys here today as well. Sarge Fry, welcome, my friend. Glad I thought out as well. I'll tell you that. So, Simple Living Alaska. I've made no secret about the fact that I love watching their channel. I've watched their channel, I think, from when they first started here in Alaska. They had said that they were going to cut back on the amount of videos that they were doing, and I don't know if maybe they're going to go to one big video a month. But ever since the cold weather hit, I've been thinking about those guys, because they live in a extremely cold region of Alaska, up near Tok and Glen Allen, which is brutal temperatures. Well, they had a video yesterday, and I have told you guys a million times when we chat on these things that the thing about the cold in Alaska is that it gets so intense for so long that all of a sudden things start to break. My truck, as an example. I guess all three of Eric and Ariel's vehicles, it was just a nightmare of cold weather for them up there. If you have not checked it out, by all means, go do so. Leave a little comment that I was talking about them here on the video. It's a long one, though. It's about 2 hours long. It's like watching a movie. But it was just something would happen, then another thing would happen, then another thing would happen. And it just kept being, it just kept escalating, and it was an absolute nightmare. So before I knew it, the 2 hours was over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Tony Ruth, welcome. Glad to have you here today. Awesome that you can make it. Raquel Hernandez. How you doing, Raquel? Molly's doing fantastic. She just got down off the couch and got herself a little bit of water. We might have a Molly sighting today. Excuse me. What's happening, my friend? It is great to see you. Yeah, I figured I'd go live today. Susan, how are you doing? Susan Cooksey. That's my partner, Susan, that I go fishing with on all the fishing videos. That's who that is. That's Susan. Chris, welcome, my friend. It is awesome to see you today. Steve, welcome, brother. Glad you could be here today. John's Touchpad, welcome. Glad you could make it as well. Linda at Lipstick Lodge, how are you doing? 3 days of snow here. I love it, but we have enough. Excuse me from Southern BC says the fog's rolling in thick here. Sling the mighty Fraser River. Wow. Doyle Lindsay, welcome, my friend. Hi from Murray, Kentucky. Low tonight is 15. High on Monday of 32. Our part of the USA. That is cold. It's colder than us, man. And just to show you guys the difference in temperature. I don't know if you can see that or not. That says 42 degrees. 42 degrees above zero right now. Absolutely insane. We have gone up in temperature from last week. Like 7 days ago, it was 40 below zero. So we've had an 80-degree increase in temperature. And luckily, it looks like we're going to stay in the high 20s to the low or to the mid single digits for the next week, which I'm really looking forward to. Renee, welcome. Glad you could make it today. Awesome to have you here. Hiya, Karen. How are you doing? It is great to see you today. And Karen's nickname and everything there is kind of highlighted in green because she's been a member for 8 months. And if you want to be a member, I greatly appreciate it. There's no pressure for anyone to do so. The one member perk that I have been able to do on a regular basis is the minute I upload a video, members can watch it. Everybody else sees it on Friday at noon, but it doesn't matter what day I upload the video. Members can watch it right away. But yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Oh, and Rob talking again. I'm going to bring this up again. He'll be in and out because he's getting ready for the 4 p.m. Ask an Alaskan podcast. And it's a podcast / live chat video on YouTube. And if you guys want to find out a ton of stuff about Alaska, you need to follow that. And Rob, if you haven't done so, I'll see when I get down further, you need to share that link because I really enjoyed watching the last one you had. Uh-oh. I lost a hard drive here. Hang on. Kicking my feet up on things I shouldn't put my feet up on. Oh, where are we at here? It's warmer here than it is in a lot of places right now. Oh, he'll post it a bit. Very cool. Brenda Jones, welcome. Glad you could be here today. It is awesome to see you. Sunshine, welcome. We just came in with the ice off our driveway as usual. Weird weather created rain that slicked everything up a few days ago. So many accidents have been posted all over Facebook. So Sunshine lives in Kenai, and so she's a local to where I am right now. So I'll explain to you what happened, right? So we hit that super cold spell, and it was just brutal. I mean, for 3 days, I think the warmest temperature I had here at the cabin was 25 below zero, and that's when the truck went, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. And it took like 3 days to get it to run. But then we started getting these little snowstorms coming in, and we were getting like a couple inches. Well, that added up, and at one point I had almost a foot of new snow. Well, then Thursday, we had a low come in with a big storm with what they call, I forget what it's like, a pineapple express, we used to call them in California. A lot of moisture coming up, a lot of warm moisture coming up. So it rained, and it rained, and it rained. And Friday, my drive to work was the scariest drive I have ever had to do in my life. And I don't know why I went to work. I got about halfway there and I said, this was a mistake. I shouldn't go. And I said, well, I'll just go slow. My high speed on that drive in was 15 miles an hour. So it took over an hour to get to work from my cabin, which normally takes a quick, easy 25, 30 minutes. It took over an hour. And when I got to the last intersection in town at SBS, which is Spinard Builder Supply, it was just a sheet of ice. It was ridiculous. I'm doing less than 10 miles an hour, and the truck is just doing this all the way, as I'm driving. And all I could say was, just make it to the intersection. I can see gravel. I know I could get there. It was brutal. It was absolutely terrible. Well, the pass to get here, Thompson Pass, I think is what it's called, or Turnagain Pass. I don't know what they call it, but I think it's Thompson Pass. They closed it last night. It was so bad that they just had big rigs jackknifing everywhere. There was no way that they could keep it open. There's no way they could stay ahead of it. So that's what she's talking about, because it was just ice and nasty and crazy out there. Absolutely terrible. David the Instigator, what's happening, my friend? How are you doing? It is great to see you today. Blueberry Bog, welcome. Hey, Sean, you've got your color back, looking very healthy. Are you feeling thawed out now? I'm feeling much thawed out now. Although today, so, there's always something. So yesterday, after that storm was finishing up, on Friday, after that storm was finishing up, it started to switch to snow. Well, yesterday we had snow all morning long. So I got another 3 inches of fresh snow on top of all the ice out there. So today I had to put the cleats on and the boots on and head out to the solar panels, and I had to clean all those off. So I was out there shoveling those off, shoveling the deck off. Some stuff that you're going to see in next week's video, taking some measurements for the next project that I can actually start right now, I think. And so I was out there in the cold and shoveling snow today, but it just wasn't as bad. I didn't have to worry about the gloves or anything. Snowkeeper, welcome, neighbor. How are you doing today, Heather? It is awesome to see you. Scroll on through. The Cheap Uncle, welcome, my friend. It is 35 degrees in southern Georgia right now. We are now Alaska. You can have it. That's my gift to you. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't have one. I had like 30 people tell me, why don't you send us some of that cold? So I have done that for you. I have sent you some of that cold. Don't spoil yourselves with it. Jay and Jen, woot woot. What's up? If you guys don't follow Jay and Jen, you need to follow Jay and Jen. They're awesome, awesome people. And Jay and I have been buddies since he fell off his first roof. I'm sipping tea today. This is that holiday cranberry tea that I bought at the store, and it's just delicious. Everybody's saying hi to everybody else. Hart, what's up, brother? Deep South Alabama. Welcome, my friend. It is great to see you. Can't wait to see you up here this summer. Ward, welcome. What's up, brother? Great to see you. This is how bad. So I think I've told you guys before that I am the funny river road report guy because I'm the first guy that when I leave my cabin in the morning to go to work, I'm generally the first guy on the road heading into town. So when I get to work, if there's road hazards, I always share them on the road report. So my road report on on Friday morning was road report. Stay home. Don't go out. You don't need to drive in this. Just stay home. I mean, they canceled schools and everything. So later on that morning, I get for all of you people who were here 2 weeks ago and said, how come Sean doesn't have beer for Ward? I get a text from Ward and he says, Sean, pick me up a 30-pack of beer. So yes, I did in fact deliver beer to Ward. What's up, Joe? Great to see you. Snow in Philly, currently 32. Homemade chicken noodle soup simmering. Yum, yum, yum. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. It's either going to be sausage and cheese muffins, or it's going to be reindeer kielbasa. It'll be one of the two. I think it might be the sausage. I don't know if I have any potatoes. I mean, I do, but I don't know if they're still usable at this point. So I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet. Stan, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you today. Glad you can make it. Urban Carlson, how are you doing? Great to see you as well. Molly's doing awesome. She's in her usual spot here, asleep on the couch, just kind of laying here. You gonna come up and say hi? No. She was out playing with her litter mate brother and Yukon again today. They came over today, so she was out there getting all nuts with him. She's all thawed out. What's up, Al? Great to see you, my friend. Is there anything I need? I don't think I can really say that on the internet. I'm good, Al. Thank you, though, man. I greatly appreciate it. Your friendship is always awesome to have. I greatly appreciate that. Michael, what's happening? This is it. MJH, welcome to this. Yo, Kazrig, what's up? Big Will, brother Will, right there, Kazrig. Last to let down. I'm hoping the truck is cooperating. You love watching even the bad days. I share the bad days. The truck is doing great now. It really is. Will and I were talking about it, and we think it quite possibly was a fuel issue too, because I haven't really added any heat. Comes in a yellow container. You pour it in to separate the water and stuff. I haven't really added anything to the gas this year at all. I do that with the generator and I do that with the snowblower, but I haven't done it with the truck. So it could have been that, but hopefully, knock on wood, we're not going to go through that again. I don't need another day like that again. But the truck's been running fantastic ever since. Ah, Brad, very cool. Very cool. I agree. Jay and Jen are amazing. What brand is my cranberry tea? I'll show you. I'll grab the box right now. It's Bigelow, I think. Yep, Bigelow. It's Bigelow Cranberry Harvest. It's cranberry with a warm spice finish herbal tea, and it's really, really yummy. It's got a little bit of tartness from the cranberry, but not overly tart. You're welcome, Ward. Marcy Kirby, how are you doing? Suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota, 6 degrees with a minus 14 wind chill. Wind chill just in from the shoveling. I don't mind shoveling snow. I just don't like shoveling snow when it's below zero. Like today, when I was out there shoveling, it was like 35-ish, maybe 32. I don't mind. I'll shovel all day long in that. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, right, Jay? I made fun of him for falling off the ladder since I fell the first spruce tree on my truck. I share everything in my videos. You can be guaranteed that if I have a problem and make a mistake when I'm recording video, you're going to see it. I'm going to share the absolute stupid stuff that I do. I don't believe in cutting that stuff out. You guys need to see what happens. Warren, going in hot. Good afternoon, Sean. The longer days are nice. Ice cleats for the win. So I went out and bought some new ice cleats. I have, here, let me see. I'll pull my boots up and show you what I got. I'm going to get all three. We're going to give you an education on cleats here, okay? So on my work shoes, for the longest time, I used these, right? They don't. When the ice is hard like it's been, these really don't do anything. They last about a season. So I actually broke down and spent some money and bought these. These have little points that dig into the ice, and they do very, very well. So these are on my shoes until I get to work, and then after I get off of work, I put them back on my shoes again and take them home. But then when it's real cold and I'm out trudging, and I know I'm going to get into some stuff that's icy. First of all, these are my Baffins, and these are absolutely the greatest boot I've ever had. But these have, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Right? Look at this. Deep metal cleats. The only thing I don't like is I don't have anything on my heel. So when I'm wearing these, I need to stay on the balls of my feet, up on the tops of my feet, to make sure that these bite in. But I can almost walk up a tree with these. These are awesome. So those are the examples of cleats that I have now. Put those up. And the nice thing is that, like the big metal one that I have there, those will stay on those boots. They never come off those boots. And then the ones that I have on my work shoes, the tennis shoes, I can interchange those between that and the Kamek cheap snow boots that I have. They pop off really easy. They pop back on super easy too. Oh. Is cool, but Jen's a booger. I didn't say that, Jen. Just read Al's comment. Yuck. Minus 25 to minus 30 this weekend. Yeah, anyway, back to Simple Living Alaska. At one point, Ariel's all, they only have like 2 thermometers that go that cold. And that's the other thing too, is that most of the digital thermometers up here, they like your vehicle thermometer pretty much stops at like minus 40. Most digital thermometers that you buy for like these little home weather stations, they might go to minus 45. So it actually gets colder than that. So this one, where it said it was, minus 39, and at one point it did hit minus 40, kind of accurate. But after that, I wouldn't trust anything that it said. But she's all telling Eric they're trying to move snowmobiles and trying to move stuff into their shop and warm it up and thaw it out. And she, do you know how cold it is? And he goes, how cold is it? And she goes, it's like 63 below or 65 below. And she said their neighbor said it was 72 below zero. Called him and just to check on him, make sure everything was okay, and told her that he had 72 below zero at his place. It's insane. You just don't function in those temperatures. It's absolutely crazy. Joe saying, I went to the local Polish market before the snow. I have kielbasa, sauerkraut, and a dozen potato pierogies. I'll make that when you and Ward visit. Nice. I grew up, my mom is Sicilian and German, but one dish that we used to get all the time, and it's really hard for me to find a good one now, is Mom used to do garlic sausage. And it's difficult to find garlic sausage, but she'd get a pot, she'd put the sauerkraut in the pot, and as she was warming it up, she'd have garlic sausage in the sauerkraut, and she'd just cook them up together and just bring them up slowly. And the best garlic sausage in the world. I can't find a good one anymore, but I absolutely adore that stuff. Barbara Williamson, how are you doing? It is great to see you. Hi, Sean. Does Molly have a jacket? Do you leave the fire going on when you're gone? Molly doesn't have a jacket. And the reason for that is because she's got a fur coat. And her fur's thick. So if you don't know the history behind Rottweilers, they're look it up. They were bred to be outdoor dogs. They're bred to be livestock animals. And they were in Germany, where all this breeding was done with them. And so in the breeding of that animal, their coat became very, very dense. So she doesn't really get cold. She doesn't really get wet at normal cold temperatures. But during that big cold spell we had, I didn't let her go out. She went out one time with me, and I saw her jumping around on her paws, and you could tell that she was not comfortable on the ice. And I just put her back in the cabin, so she didn't get a chance to go out with me after that until the temperatures came back up. Do I keep the fire going on at my house? If I start the fire before I go to work, so I just have the heater going all day long. I start the fire at night before I go to bed. If it's the weekend and it's my day off and I'm doing some stuff around here and I need to run to town and I get the fire going, I'm not going to put it out. I'll just let it burn while I leave, and then when I come back, I'll add wood to it again. But so yeah, I do, but I almost never. I don't have a fire burning 24/7. I'm not home to do that. So Trail Cam Pete, what's up, brother? It is awesome to see you today. I survived the cold snap. I certainly did. Hey, Sean, are you thinking of putting handrails on your ladder heading to the loft? I thought about it. It's pretty secure now. Anything that I mounted on there would have a better chance of giving way than the side of those rails on that ladder. And I'm planning on a bedroom so that I won't be going up into the loft that much anymore. So, no, I probably won't do that. It would look cool. I think the only way I would really think about doing that is if I maybe did like a library style ladder where I mounted a rail on the outside so that I could slide that back and forth type of deal. And then I'd have the, for company when they were going to go sleep up there. But yeah, not at this point. Maybe handrails that fold down on out of the way. That's I don't think I would. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. I looked at Russell from Raspberry Rock Off Grid. I looked at his stair design for the longest time. I like the way he pulled it down. When he pulls it down, it just becomes stairs. It's freaking super cool. And I looked at a couple of different versions of that, but then I'd have that thing hanging up there, and I didn't want to deal with that either. Roll, how are you doing? Algorithm Bump, love the channel. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it, my friend. Oh, your sister had a rot. Yeah, that's a big one. So Molly's half rot and half Australian Shepherd, and I think she won't be that big. She'll be bigger than probably a normal Aussie would be, but she'll be smaller than a Rottweiler no matter what. Wow, I caught up. That was crazy. I did a lot of spouting too. I did a lot of talking and caught up. Looks like everybody's still here. Like an attic, yeah. Barbara's saying like an attic. I said, yeah, like the attic staircase kind of thing. I have no intention of ever covering the upper part here. Originally, when I thought about it, I thought, well, I could always extend the loft all the way across the building. I don't think I'll do that. I like the big open ceiling in here. And I'm gonna throw the bedroom off this side behind me. I might actually start working on that this year. We'll see. So my days of sleeping in the loft are numbered. I'm going to be way too old to climb those ladders eventually here. I thought of that too, where I could just pull it off and hang it on the wall. But no, my luck, I would hang it back wrong and go to climb the ladder and it would fall down. I have it pretty well secured in there. I have two boards to stop it from shifting left or right, and I have two metal clips that I attached to the inside that slip down behind this 2x8 rafter to lock it from being able to pull out. Here she is, as a matter of fact. You guys want to say hi? Say hi, Mom. See that? Molly is mostly Rottie. Molly is actually half Rottweiler and half her dad was 100% Rottweiler and her mom is 100% papered Australian Shepherd. So yeah, she's half and half, aren't you? She's a good girl. She's a good girl too. He loves. Yeah. She's my buddy. She's my pal. Good girl. Okay, where are we at here? Beto, welcome, my friend. It is awesome to see you today. Glad you could make it. Saying hi to everybody else. Joe, you're still sitting there watching the snow. I did that Saturday morning. Yesterday morning, I just sat here and just watched it snow outside. You'll see Friday. There's video. Obviously, my entire life is on video. Right? She's she's getting bigger and bigger. And she's so good. She's such a good girl. Aren't you? You're just a good puppy, son. You're a good puppy. Yes, you are. Yeah, she is. Star of the show. It's the Molly and Sean show. It used to be the Sean show, and then it was the Sean and Molly show. Now it's the Molly and Sean show. She plays fetch. She chases the stick. She knows how to sit. Huh? You good girl. You know how to sit. Especially when you want a cookie, you always sit. Oh, I said the magic word. Blueberry Bog, despite the brutal cold spells, I can't wait to get to Alaska. The discomfort for a short period of time should be well worth the view, freedom, and peace. And that is so true. And like my brother Will, the guy I call Brother Will, we're like brothers. Like he always says, Alaska, the winters are the price we pay for the summers in Alaska. And that's so true. And you need a time to wind down and to stop doing things for a while, right? I will tell you that this cold streak that's going through right now, in the interior of Alaska, only 1904 was colder, has been colder. And I don't know where they're at with the negative temperatures. I know that they're still negative. I don't know if they've gone above zero, but I know that Fairbanks had like 34 days straight with sub-zero temperatures, and 1904 was the record, and that was 40 days straight with sub-zero temperatures, and that was a week ago. So if they kept those temperatures like they were, even if they weren't as cold as they had been, they were going to break the record for the coldest record recorded in the interior of Alaska. So yeah, crazy. Barbara Kermudge is on at 4 p.m. Alaska time, which would be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think I got them all right. And then 4 p.m. Alaska. So yeah, it's right after this. His live. And I'm sure Robert will come back on and share a link on there. I wish I should have. There's a way to do it. I could have set this up so that at the end of my live, it would automatically send you to that live if you were still here. And then you could decide to log off if you wanted. But it's really cool. Talk to an Alaskan podcast is something him and his buddy came up with, and it's just absolutely fun. Absolutely cool. Molly has to be 5% Australian Shepherd, just the white marking. Her face is skinny. It's not blocky. Her body is skinny, not blocky. Yeah, I'm telling you, she's like from probably her chest up is a completely different fur than from her chest down. It's the chest down, it's all Rottie fur. The chest up, it's all Aussie fur. She's going to be a pretty dog when she's full grown. She's a pretty dog now, but she's going to be a pretty dog when she's fully grown. Thank you for that, Joe. If you hit the thumbs up when we're live, all that does is if I get enough of them, then YouTube says when people log in, hey, this is pretty interesting. You might want to go check him out. So then we end up with new friends on here. That's all I care about. That's what these lives are all about anyways, hanging out with friends. This came up a lot in last week's video. Am I thinking about making a garage later on? And the answer to that is no. I've had houses with garages my entire life, and the garage was never used for a car. I think that's a waste of a building. Carport came up, and a carport wouldn't keep it any warmer, but it would keep the snow off of it. So I don't ever foresee a day when I'm going to have a garage. I just don't, because there are too many buildings I would like to build that would have a multi-purpose use, and the garage would be something that I would have to heat during the winter to make any difference whatsoever. And when you're off grid, it's just a tough thing to do. I mean, I guess I could build it and do something extravagant like Eric and Ariel did, where they put the in foundation heating, PEX pipe and everything else, but that was not cheap. And I'm not a rich man, and I'm not taking loans out. I'm paid off. I don't need the debt. Yeah, she does. Right now she's laid back down again. She figures when I'm talking to this, she might as well just go away. John, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you. Awesome to have you here today. Where you at? I saw it. There he is. Boom. From Southern Wisco, getting down below zero this week. You guys, it's your turn. It's your turn. Thank you for that, Blueberry Bog. Appreciate it. Cheap Uncle. When I was stationed in Alaska, I was living in an apartment in Fairbanks, had Chihuahua with me the entire time. He had little booties and a coat. He was a trooper in the winter. So if I'm in the interior, where you're going to have that brutal, crazy cold temperatures, and I had a pup, then definitely she would have, I don't think she'd have a coat. She would have boots for sure, though. She would definitely have boots. I don't know about a coat, though. You still got to take your dog for a walk to take care of business. The lucky thing is, because I'm where I am and I'm not in the city, she could just run right off the deck and I'll just shovel it up the next time I'm outside. So yeah, I'm not worried about that as far as that goes. My sidekick neighbor, or if you're talking about Ward, the guy that was with me here live on my last live, he's in the chat right now. He lives, I don't know, what, Ward lived like 3 miles away from me, probably close. And then my buddy Todd, he lives right across the street. He's probably sitting at home right now watching this if he remembered it was on. Todd's retired, so sometimes Todd doesn't know what day it is. Excuse me, he says, Sean, block heaters are definitely ideal, and I get the garage thing, no worries. I have a block heater on that truck, but I don't know if it works. And Jason from Alaska Freedom had left a comment saying, sometimes those things, they're designed so that the plug-in actually plugs into another piece so that you can't drive away and rip the whole unit out. And he said sometimes those plugins come loose. So I am going to take a look at that when things warm up a little bit longer. I'm going to have a lot of things tested. I'm going to put an oil pan heater on there. I want to put a trickle charger on there. I can power all of that. Like I could set a timer on an outlet for a block heater on that truck and have it go off at 2 o'clock in the morning or at 1 o'clock in the morning to warm up that truck until I get up in the morning to start it. And same thing, I could leave a trickle charger running all night long. It wouldn't draw hardly any power whatsoever. So there's a couple of solutions that I am going to definitely look at making so it doesn't happen again. 20-foot container, instant guitar, instant garage. Yeah, the only problem with those is they're so ugly. I mean, I could paint it, I guess, but yeah, so ugly. And if I'm going to spend the money to buy a container, because they're not cheap anymore, I'm probably just going to build another building. David wants to know what my plans are to upgrade my solar system and electrical at the cabin. So I have 4 solar panels in use now. So I have 2 in the flat area that my neighbor cleared for me over here, and I have 2 sitting right over here, and I have 2 more that I haven't even used yet. They're in storage. So they're in storage over at Todd's house. As a matter of fact, he's got them in his garage. He told me if I'm not going to put them up, he's going to install them. I go, dude, install them, and I'll come get them when I'm ready. So as far as a battery system goes here at the cabin, I think eventually I might look at, right now I run a 12-volt system. I might look at going to a 24-volt. I don't know that I'll go to a 48-volt. And the difference in those systems is, like mine is the basic. The 12 volt's a basic system. 24 volt is, you can run smaller wires and it's a little more efficient. A 48 volt, you can run smaller wires completely and it's a lot more efficient because it doesn't have the amperage coming off. It doesn't need the amperage coming off that a 12 volt system does to run. So I'll probably eventually end up changing from the 12 volt system to 24 or 48. And then it'll just be more solar panels. I'm at a point right now where I'm starting to make power again, but basically from November, December, January, and February, 4 months out of the year, I'm never going to be able to run this cabin. Even with the limited power that I have right now, I'm never going to be able to keep it charged up without running a generator. So by adding more solar panels, I may pick up some more and extend my time that I don't have to run a generator, but I'm still going to have to run a generator. There's only so much you can do. I hope that answered the question. Electrical in the cabin, I do want to do a little bit more wiring. I've got some wire pulled for here, right? Here's my, I can pull it over here so you can see it. Here, I'll just do this. Right, see that? Romex. I've got that pulled. That's going to go right here. So I'll put electrical right behind here so that I can plug all of this stuff in right below. And then I'm going to extend that wire over and it's going to go over to the window here. And I'm probably now going to do an inside-outside box. So I'll have a box going on the inside and I'll have a box on the outside so that I can plug stuff in while I'm on my deck. So like a block heater and stuff down the road. Words of Hoot. That was Ward. Yeah, Words of Hoot. Him and I get along together. Great. When we get together, it's always fun. Scott at Hester's Garage. What's happening, my friend? It is awesome to see you today. Thank you for joining me. Soup and a sandwich, then I have to shovel snow. City life, right? Yeah, yeah. Both of my trucks have block heaters as well as electric battery wrap. I have an electric battery wrap in that truck too. Doesn't do any good if I don't have it plugged in though, right? And that's the other thing. Looking at that battery, that battery might be 4 or 5 years old. If it is, it's time to replace that battery. I know that they say they're good for X amount of years, but up here, you should probably replace your battery every 3 years. Ooh, homemade chili with beans. Yum, yum. Old school Alaska, welcome. You're never late. You always arrive right when you need to be, right? See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Joe says, chili. Chili with cheese and onions, right? Yum. Red onion, dice it up, throw it all over the top of that. Shredded cheese all over the top, then stir it all. Oh, yeah. I'm there. I'm there. Carolyn, how are you doing today? Hello from Texas. Watch all the videos. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I lived in Texas for a few years. I lived in Houston, and my territory was Houston, Austin, and Dallas. I worked for Randall's and Tom Thumb. grocery chain down there, bakeries. Texas is a beautiful state. I love Texas. That was so. I'm going to pull this back up again. So the funny story was when I was working down there, I had an old truck and I had like a little bag that I kept in the truck. So whenever we would go, like I would go from Houston to Austin or Houston to Dallas, it was always an air flight and rental car and the whole ball of wax because we'd be up there for a couple of days. And so I had that bag in there and it had cleats for my feet in there. And I'll never forget, we got to Dallas one time and Dallas gets cold. They had an ice storm come down and literally like, here's the sign, the road sign, right? The ice was just sticking off the side of the sign, like 2 feet long, hanging off the side of the sign. And everybody is slipping and sliding, can't walk on the asphalt or anything else. Get out of the car and I start to slip. And I go, yeah, it's not going to work. And I reach over and I grab that bag and I open it up and I throw those cleats on my feet. And I take off walking across the parking lot normal. And everybody looked at me like, where the heck did he get those? Need to have a monthly ward show. I don't know if I can handle that once a month. I don't know if I can do that often. Right? Oh God. And Barbara, same thing with cheese and more onion. Yum, yum, yum. Central Texas. Yeah, yeah. So here's Jay's. If you guys don't follow Jay and Jen, you need to, and you want solar and you want to do stuff with solar, you need to follow Jay and Jen because Jay is. I've learned so much from watching him. And then when I do stupid stuff on my solar, Jay will message me and say, "Hey, you might want to change that, buddy." And oh no, I cleaned it up after I was done. But he's a wealth of knowledge on this stuff. So he's saying if you don't want a huge array, don't write off the solar tracking system. Folks don't give the tracker much credit, but we really like ours, and you can put your own panels on it. I really want to do that in that field out there. I want to get something up a little bit higher so that I can, because I've got a clear area that if I was just a little bit higher, I would get quite a bit more sunlight during the winter. And I want to put a tracking system out there. I just need EcoWorthy to reach out and say, we want you to do a tracking system for us, Sean, because I would put it out there in a second, dude. I really would. I love that tracking station that you have. I love that. It's super cool. I want to make gumbo with okra and black-eyed peas. I love a good gumbo. I am a huge fan of a good gumbo. I bet getting a power pole drop there would be super expensive. Sometimes the generator is just the easiest and simplest way. 40 grand. Well, let me correct that. $40,000 to $52,000 to bring a power pole to this property. Now, I would get that back as other people connected around me. I would get part of that back, but I'm not laying out $40,000 to $52,000 for that. There's no way. To me, that's insanity for the right to pay a bill, and the number of time the power goes out here, it's amazing. I'm never going to be on the grid again. It makes no sense to me at this point in my life to have to deal with that because I'm set up to not have to be anyway. But for just a couple of conveniences, I have I could put every convenience that they have in their homes in here now. I just have to increase my system a little bit. But yeah, that is just. I bet you a 4-gallon. I have 5-gallon gas cans and I fill them up to 4 gallons every time because I don't like to fill anything that's explosive full. So like the gas cans, if they're 5-gallon, they only get 4. The propane bottles are 5-gallon, they only get 4.5 because I don't want to deal with expansion. So 4 gallons of gasoline will last me 2 to 3 weeks here right now for my generator. Can't get much cheaper than that. I mean, so basically I'll be lucky to go through 8 gallons a month of gasoline to run that generator. So yeah, I even if it was $10,000, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, it would be too crazy, but yeah, I just wouldn't do it. Haas, what's happening in Arkansas? Hopefully one day I can move to Alaska. It's a great place to be, my friend. It is a great place to be. Barb, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Always great to see you. Happy trails to you as well. Sean and Ward cooking and beer tasting show coming to a food channel soon. Right, Heather? Exactly. Oh, don't you ever tease me with cannoli. I love a good cannoli. God, I love cannoli. David says we were so lucky to have a power line right by the place. However, I wish I'd put in solar. Hindsight, yeah, and so I'm not done. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that I still have a million things I want to do, and I just want to keep doing them. if the day comes where I buy another piece of property, and if there is power near that property, I will build the house for solar. I will not build the house for power. Even if I can get it to the property for nothing, I will still build it for solar because I don't like having to depend on other people for things that I can do for myself. And if I can generate all the power that I need, then why should I pay somebody else for that? Now, a lot of people say it's really expensive to get into solar. So here's the most expensive part of solar: batteries. All right. But with the new technology of, the lithium iron phosphate batteries that I'm using now, I'm going to get 20 years of life out of those batteries. If I live for 20 more years, pretty sure I'll be able to afford to buy more batteries if I need them. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make any sense to not set it up, especially up here, because from March through October, right? So we got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 8 months, 8 months of the year. I don't have to turn anything on. It's peaceful and quiet here all day long. I never have to hear a thing. I love that. I love it. I never have to even look at where my power's at. How about trying telephone or internet company to stand the poles? Then it'd be cheap to bring power. So the only people who can do the power poles in my part of Alaska is the power company. They're the only ones who are allowed to do it. It's HEA, and they're just insane, and their rates just keep going up. There's no, I mean, Ward, what do you pay a month? You're still on here. If you still are on here, what do you pay a month for power, for electricity? Because I pay a month. Let's go $30. I pay $30 a month to have all the power that I want here. So I'm curious what you pay, Ward, and that might help explain a lot better where I'm coming from on this too. I have right across the street. I have a natural gas pipeline I could tap into, and I will never do it because I don't want the monthly bill of, when I get older and I retire, I want as few bills as I can possibly have. I want to spend money on fun stuff. Oh, and welcome, Otto. I didn't say hello to you. Right, Renee, and that's why I'm going solar. Exactly. If you're willing to just pay attention in the winter months, you'll be fine. You'll have no problem with it. I'll have Jen chat with Eco with it and see what she can do. That'd be great, man. That'd be awesome. I'd greatly appreciate it. I know that I've got a great relationship with Vader. I mean, it's an awesome relationship with the people who I got the batteries from. If they had that stuff, I just say, hey, let's do this next, and they would jump on it. They've been kind of pushing me to go with the 48-volt system, which is kind of why I think down the road I might switch it. But I have some plans. So I always have plans. We know I always have plans. So I'm going to build a bedroom back here, and it's going to be 24 feet long. And there's no way I need a bedroom that big. So obviously I'm doing something in the back half of that bedroom. And what I'm planning on doing is that's going to be where I'm going to move all of the electrical, water. That'll be my utility room, will be back there with all the utilities that I have here. Eventually a washer and dryer kind of thing, everything back there. So at that point, I will more than likely be extremely seriously looking at going with a 48-volt system and probably Vader because I mean they've been awesome. My video with them did really, really well. We've worked really, really well together. But yeah, I've sold quite a few of their batteries for them. Yeah, so I definitely would like to get into that. Right, exactly. Heather knows she's off grid as well, and she's up towards the valley, which is up, kind of northwest of Anchorage. Same here. I love being off grid. My generator bill is so much cheaper. It is. I could buy a lot of generators for the cost of putting in one power pole. I could buy a lot of generators for that cost. Oh, Ward's out of here. I didn't get a comment back from him. Oh yeah, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Being of Italian descent, I love it cannoli, but there's a German bakery near me that makes a better cannoli. It's an art. It's an art, and German bakers are pretty darn talented. Some of the best, some of the greatest cookies I have ever had in my life were from German bakeries. They know. They just know. That's something I wouldn't mind getting is a snow machine. That would be fun to have. But I wouldn't really ride it that much right now. Okay, so here we go, right? $30 a month is what Sean pays. That's what Ward pays. $315 a month. Okay. So, and I'm just using him as an example. Will pays the same thing, that same amount, plus heating fuel, plus, in Ward's case, I know that he heats with wood stoves, so he's cutting down firewood or buying firewood too. So it's electrical rates in Alaska are ridiculous. See you, brother. Yeah, see? It's crazy. It's insane. That's what I would like to do too, David, is I need to get a well installed here eventually. I need to do a well. I thought about digging one myself. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to actually hire a company to drill one. Did I hear you correctly when you said you worked in Texas? If so, how are your allergies between Texas and Alaska? I don't have allergies. I didn't have them in Texas. I don't have them in Alaska. I don't know. Like my brothers have issues. I have one brother who, like, any pollen from wood at all will just destroy him. But I've never really had an issue with allergies at all. I'm allergic to generic drugs. The binders that they use in generic drugs, I can't take. So I have to take name brand drugs when it comes to that, anything. And I only take thyroid meds. But there's a binder that they put in there that I can't have. But I didn't have any issues. I went from Fairbanks, Alaska to Houston, Texas, and then from Houston, Texas back to California, and never had any allergy issues. So I don't really know. I know that they say up here, if you have allergy issues, if you tap a birch tree in the spring, which is like tapping maple trees to make maple syrup, you can make birch syrup. If you tap a birch tree in the spring and you drink the birch water, that it will relieve a lot of allergies that people may have up here in Alaska. And we get a lot of pollen, a lot of it. So I think that's going to be the number one issue. Oh, that's it. Yeah, Ward had to plug in the heat tape on the water line so they don't break. Exactly. See, I mean, even the Philippines, they pay between 200 and 300 a month in the Philippines for electricity. It's crazy. Electricity is nuts. It's free if you just put a freaking system in. I mean, I see these people in California, where I'm from, in the Sierra Nevadas, in the foothills, the Sonora area, and they got like 25, 30 panels on their roof, right? And they use a lot more electricity because everything in their house is electricity. But all I can think of is you're getting almost nothing back from the company that you did that with, right? Sure, you get a little break on your bill, but I read the stories, and the break is not what everybody thinks it is. They're losing a lot. They still pay a lot of money to have that on there. I'm thinking, man, if you just bought yourself a couple of Tesla battery power walls, or and put them in your garage, power your whole freaking house for free forever. I don't know why they don't do it. That's a no-brainer to me. Yeah, we're almost at the end, Ward. You might as well stay. You got like 9 minutes left, brother. You pay 111 Canadian in Ontario, goes up every few months. Yeah, you ever notice utilities never go down? They never go down. I've seen gas go up and I've seen gas go down. I've never seen, like in California, it was PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. I never saw my rates go down in that state. They went up every year. Up here, it would be Homer Electric Association, and I've never seen them go down. Everybody I talk to that has HEA, and it's a member-owned utility, which is insane if you ask me. Because everybody gets screwed then. I've never heard anybody tell me that their bill went down. It's crazy. Awesome. Thank you. When I went to California, I could breathe, taste food. It was great, all before COVID. Thanks for that information. Here's the thing I will say about Texas, though. Probably the best food I've had in the United States was in the state of Texas. Man, I'm telling you what, we had a store that was, I forget the name of the town, but it was closer to Louisiana. And so when we went there, it was in this big mall, and they had like a Louisiana style restaurant in there, and they made a muffaletta sandwich, and that was the greatest sandwich experience of my life. I absolutely loved the muffaletta, and there was no bad food. I mean, every type of Tex-Mex, traditional Mex, steak, every ethnicity of food that you wanted. It was just incredible how good the food was in Texas. Navy Dave, welcome, my friend. Again, you're never late. You show up as long as you show up when you got here. Perfect. Right? Definitely. Jay says, think we used 50 gallons of gasoline last winter. We've used close to that much this winter so far. Not terrible, right? Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you guys there's no power for you at all, ever. Um, but, to live the lifestyle you want to live, you just have to decide what you can or cannot live without. Um, and, it helps. Like right now, right, we're live, and I'm running half of this on my batteries, on the battery bank, and the other half I'm running on the A-free power station because I'm like, I'll just plug that in for right now. Run that battery. I haven't used that in forever. So I top off, when I fire the generator up, I top off all my electrical in the cabin, and then I don't have to worry about, for a week, I'll be able to run everything here, edit video and all that stuff just off of the A-free or the OPS. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And then Jay, I want to talk to you too. In the next day or two, I'll send you a message and let you know. I need to know what you guys did for hot water. I mean, I'll go back and look at some videos, but who you got that, who you're using as far as on-demand water heaters and that kind of stuff. Because I'm looking at least putting an outdoor shower in for sure this spring, and I'll just run it with rainwater off the roof, filling totes. So at least I'll have something that I can take a shower with after working all day outside. But yeah, I want to pick your brain. A lot of mom and pop trucker stops have gone out of business. Used to love those barbecue smoke rib houses and pancake. Yeah, I know. Well, and it's a different. When I was a kid, there was a truck stop in every major town had a big truck stop on major interstates. I-5, 101, 80, 50. I'm just talking California right now, and but not anymore. Well, most of that stuff is just a whole different lifestyle than it used to be. Ward says our electrical bill will drop to around $215 when he unplugs. So I'm saving $215. I said I use 30, right? We say 30 or 40 a month. We'll just go 40. So I'm saving $165 a month by not having power. Yeah, hot water heater. I need hot water. The big problem with solar, people don't want to make the initial investment. You can start small and add to it, right? Because I didn't have a big system when I started. I had a couple of panels. The panels are dirt cheap. You can buy panels all day long, super cheap. The batteries were the most expensive to me, and then a bit of a learning curve because I wanted to do it all myself. I didn't want to get a plug and play system. I wanted to build it. So the biggest expense is batteries. The next expense would be panels, depending on how many you want, and then wires. Because you're gonna wire all that stuff together. But yeah, for that original initial investment, and then no real investment from that point forward. It was a no-brainer for me to keep on it. I'm about to put in on-demand water system. Would love to get info, right? Exactly. Yeah, I will, Jay. Definitely. Definitely. Yep, mom and pop shops always have the same best food ever. So David says we average 18 kilowatt hours a day. What are you running? And that's the other thing that, when I moved up here, we're getting towards the end here, but I want to make sure I answer the last couple of comments. Before I got in this cabin, I lived very, very meekly in the fifth wheel trailer. I didn't have a whole lot of power at all. I didn't have power stations. If I wanted to run anything electrical, I fired the generator up to run it. So I had no power whatsoever. But I mean, I have what? 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 1.2. Well, that's amp hours. So watts is completely different. Watt hours is completely different. I think I figured I had 15 kilowatts of power in batteries in there right now. And that will last me 15 days. Easy 15 days. So I'm like using 1 kilowatt or less per day. I don't have a microwave. I don't have an electric stove. I have a gas stove. But it amazes me how many things I gave away that I don't miss at all living the way I live now. I mean, it's just completely different mindset. Charles and Anwin, 600 watts to 700 watt panels there in the are about 100 US. Mine are 365 watt panels. They cost me $130 on sale, or 150 bucks. I think I paid for each of them, which is what, less than 50 cents a watt. But that's crazy, and they last for a long, long time. Yeah, dryer, oven, hot water heater. Yeah, those are big. Those are big drains. Definitely. I just want to say to you, Sean, you're the man. You try real hard, and it's paid off in spades. Your willpower is bar none the best. Keep up, definitely, man. And you know what? If you, for me, it's a dream. And I'm living a dream every single day. For some people, it can be a nightmare. It's a nightmare for me at times. I'm not gonna lie. That truck had me just. I almost had somebody take me to town and bought a new car. But yeah, um, there are frustrating times. But you know what? If you're doing what you love, or you've got a goal in mind, and you can keep that in your sight, then it's not a an end all be all. It's an awesome lifestyle. I appreciate that. Excuse me. That said, guys, we're getting to the very end here, closing everything down. Yeah, David, AC in the summer. That's huge. I'm sure. Frank, what's happening, man? It is awesome to see you. Good evening, Sean. Everybody. Hopefully, people are staying warm. We are definitely. Blueberry Bog shot about two of the same Vader batteries as Sean and build a panel and a sub panel with fire retardant phenolic sheet. It's not cheap, so I'm doing the layout on cardboard first. Exactly, right? Just if you're a do-it-yourselfer, if you can, I would always tell, like we said, like the statement made earlier about, get into it. You can get into it cheaply to begin with. I would say build a small system first, because when I started, if you remember, in the fifth wheel trailer, I bought the one panel. I had a 12-volt car battery, and it had a PWM charge controller, which is not. I mean, that's fine for the one panel system. That's not where you want to go. And uh, I powered all the lights in that trailer forever. I mean, those batteries would still be working. They work all winter long with no sun at all, almost, which was absolutely crazy to me. So I started out small, and I watched a bunch of videos, and I learned a bunch of stuff. And then when I got to this system, I watched a bunch of videos, and I learned more, and I slowly started to expand that system to, the point where I feel pretty comfortable with what I have. If I go bigger, eventually I'll probably have to go with an all-in-one charger inverter, which would not be a bad thing either, because now I know how to build it. And I could, if I go with that kind of a system, have all my parts left over in case of an emergency for backup. So, yeah, I love learning. I absolutely love learning. Renee, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you guys very much. We're going to head out the door here. It has been an hour. Frank, yeah, I'm going to have to watch the replay. Just got home. Not a problem at all, man. The replay will be up in a couple of minutes, I'm sure. I don't think it happens right away. I think it still has to process. But yeah, definitely. David, thank you very much, man. Great questions. Great comments. I appreciate it. Night, Linda. Awesome to have you here today. Haas is saying, whenever I get moved up there, I'll definitely hit you up, because I'll know I'll have tons of questions. Not a problem, man. Not a problem at all. I have no problem answering questions from anybody. Yeah, just let me know when you get up here. We'll get together. I don't have a problem at all for that. With that said, you guys, thank you very much. Marcus, what's up, brother? Thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for tolerating the videos and the idiocy and the problems I've had over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully things will get squared away moving forward. For anybody who's still here right now, I just took measurements today, and I'm starting to plan together one of my first projects of the year that I can actually get started while there's still snow on the ground. Kind of excited about that. I think it's going to be pretty freaking cool. And it's going to be a totally handmade thing, totally out of my wheelhouse. I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. So, in typical Sean fashion, it should be fun. With that said, you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks as always for hanging out with me. Thanks as always for the constant support. I am Sean in Alaska. We are out of here. Talk to you later, and bye-bye.